It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
Alright everybody, welcome back. We got another video suggested by one of you guys in the Discord community. So shout out to March for suggesting this one. And this one is on r/Dead by Daylight Rage, titled I'm Done with Hex Jason. And I think that there is a lot to be said. I think there's a lot to discuss. And that's why we're here, you know, kind of going over it as in the meantime here. So let's go ahead and give it a read. So they say, I don't care anymore. Anytime I see Hex Jason, I'm instantly AFKing the game. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. Not playing a Swift is always the same story. 4K after a match where Jason's completely playing his own game of chase someone for a short while. Then it says OE back to his hexes and jump scare for interrupt. Gens don't matter because Ruin and solo queue is never coordinated enough, and eventually, even if the team is decent, resources are whittled down, everybody's injured, and some are probably given a token effort at best. Or at least I hope so, with how quickly some of these people go down. I've played dozens of these Jasons, and it's never worth it. So right off the bat, just from the first paragraph, automatically my immediate response is going to be skill issue. And a lot of people will say, can probably disagree and say that's insensitive or whatever the case may be. But let's keep in mind that it's still a video game, and improvement is something that comes with the territory. I know that the DBD community is allergic to improvement and learning and stuff like that. I do understand that going in. However, I do think we also need to have a level of awareness and a level of you know, accountability for people who are begging for changes that really should not be in the game, or begging for things that really just don't work in this case. So what one of the first things that I'm obviously going to have to mention immediately is the fact that it is a skill issue. Now, keep in mind that not only are totems just not great anyway, they're just not great. They tend to spawn in bad areas. They tend to just be destroyed immediately on spawn. There's a lot of instances where if you're in a chase, somebody's already just destroying the totem, stuff like that. And if you are in an MMR level where they are unaware of how totems work or unaware about how these things are, then that in itself means that it's just your teammates that are bringing you down. It's not necessarily because the killer found a synergy that works for them that, oh my goodness, now the game ain't worth it. It just means that you're bad at the game. At the end of the day, it will always boil down to what are you doing and what are your teammates are doing when you're in a solo queue game. And 9 times out of 10, you're just going to have bad teammates. It keeps happening, and it's going to keep happening because, as I keep saying, that's how the game is. This game doesn't like to match you with every player that's good in the game. And a lot of players on Survivor are not very good. I mean, it's a shame to say, but it's true. That's why we get these brain dead changes, because there's a lot of people that are hyper casual that do not know what they're doing. And because they're trying to cater to that audience, that's why we're getting these weird changes that we've gotten. So you have to keep that in mind. You have to keep that in mind. You have to look into that and kind of understand what, you know, be self-aware in that sense, to understand that's a part of the process. So it says, as for the team, well, they say I'd rather play against God Nurse. I'd rather play against Oni with 3 times no mithers on my time, Basement Trapper, Face Camp Bubba, give them all to me. 1 million goals. I'd rather do anything else, and I mean that. I'd rather go back in time and face Gen's Control Skull Merchant with Brian Overcharge Proper Eruption. So right now it's we're starting to boil down to the crying aspect of the post now. They say this, but that's not true, because if those things are in the game, they would make a post and bitch about it too. To be fair, and they make that comparison just because they're being emotional. They're not exactly trying to do that. Now, let's keep in mind, it is DBD Rage, right? That's what the subreddit is, Dead by Daylight Rage. So, regardless, you know what I mean? But I'm going to talk about it anyway, because there are going to be people that will use this as some kind of way to say, oh, okay, now the character's broken. No, that doesn't work that way. Just because you don't know how to counter the thing doesn't necessarily mean that it's broken. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's overpowered. Like, I'd understand if it's a vent. You're like, hey, look, I'm venting. I'm just frustrated. You know what I mean? And you put that in the post. I can understand that. But that's not what's being written here. So, that's not what's being written so far. Like, it's just been like, it's just raging, crying, and then like, there's nothing saying, hey, look, I'm not saying he needs a nerf or anything. I'm just saying, like, I just didn't have fun. You could do that. Like, if you want, like, that's what I'm assuming that the intent of Dead by Daylight Rage is supposed to be about, right? That's my intent. That's what I'm understanding, okay? That's what I'm going off of. So they say, as for the team, let them die. It's what's going to happen anyways, and I'm sure I'll be downvoted, called selfish, yada, 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 fucking yada. Doesn't change facts of the matter that Hex Jason versus solo or even duo queue is just utterly effing miserable, and the game was, in the vast majority of circumstances, if the Jason isn't an utter idiot, and even if he is, the game was determined when he picked that Hex build. So, as you can see, like I said, they're just being emotional, they're crying, they're just doubling down on the crying, they're not trying to, like I said, like if they explain, like, look, I'm just frustrated about it, just wanted to vent, what do you guys think? You know, keep it more like, you know, general and focus on the point, then yeah, like that's the way to go. However, that's not what's really happening, because they double down on top of that. Like, that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna vent about something, at least let it be known, because people who are coming across a post like this would automatically think that you're legit asking to nerf the Hexes, nerf Jason, nerf this, nerf that. And mind you, Jason's already been nerfed to the ground at this point. I already thought he was weak as it was. I thought he was like literally just Springtrap again. He didn't have anything unique about him necessarily. If anything, he's worse than Springtrap, because you don't get your undetectable and can walk around with it, and also can at least be next to gens. Like with his phase thing, you don't see anything unless they're running or something like that. So keep in mind that if you decide to go to his totem, you have to be smart about it. And that's the thing. That is the thing I find really interesting about, like, when you're facing Jason, especially when you're facing Hexes, is the fact that it's counterable. Like, the main reason that it's strong is because you're probably in an MMR level where your teammates are just dumb, like they don't know what they're doing, and that's just a lot of Survivor players that are doing that. But the thing is, if you notice, because you have a HUD, by the way, you have a HUD, you can see when he's in chase. Go on, like, wait by the totem, keep contesting, because if he's going to keep running back to that totem all the time, then that means that he's probably gonna give the rest of the people to work on those gens. Now, if they're not on the gens, that's them, but at least you know for a fact that you did your try. But getting emotional about it is not the way. Like trying to constantly ask for nerfs and beg for changes that only benefit you is not a good way to approach the game. And that's my issue with the game as a whole. Like, there's a lot of stuff that killer players have to endure, have to deal with, have to outskill, have to do this bullshit. None of it ever gets changed, but yet killer changes come every fucking patch. Which is an overgeneralization, but a majority of these patches, they don't even get any, like, either positive changes, or their changes for killers are so minuscule that you don't even notice the difference. I look at the Doctor buff as a perfect example. It was about a half of a second of a difference for Doctor to when he uses his ability. I don't get it. Like, yet on Survivor you're getting, you know, like a 15-second haste and endurance. Like, that in itself is crazy. Stack that with the timer on the hook. That's a lot of chance and free time to be able to get away, versus a half second of a shock. Like, that at that point, it's like he didn't even get changed at all. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's like Jason can't be everywhere at once. Regardless of how much they want to bitch about it, at the end of the day, if you get on the totem, he probably won't be able to see you in phase because you're not moving. You're not running or anything, making sound. You're just on the totem itself. He has to teleport specifically to a spot that's near the totem itself. And a lot of the time, you can't guarantee that it's going to be in a good spot for himself. So anyway, they say, unless by happen chance you get a teammate that has full hex counter, then maybe you have a shot, and that's not going to be me, since I may play against Jason 1/8 of the time or something. So, as you see by the ending, they're saying that they don't care enough to want to bring a counter. Mind you, counter force is one single perk. You can easily put that on. It already gives you a hex breaking bonus of 20%, as it is in a stacks. So they're saying, I'm not going to bring anything to counter it. So by that point, then your entire complaint is invalid, because you're bitching about something that can be fixed. And I don't mean by behavior, because fixed according to behavior means destroy everything in its integrity. We're talking about you can fix your problem. If you have an issue with something, you become the change you want to see for yourself. If I'm on Marvel Rivals, for example, and I'm noticing like, yo, my team ain't diving, I'm going to go ahead and pick a dive character and be like, yo, I'm going to hop on Venom if I'm playing a tank role, or I'm going to hop on Blade, or I'm going to hop on Black Cat, I'm going to hop on Daredevil if I actually, you know, had practiced him more. I will get on a character so I can help them, because I'm like, if they're going to keep just shooting down main, I need to go around. I need to be able to try to get the advantage here. I'm going to change my character. I'm not going to just ego pick and stay on my one character and not provide any value for the team. Like, that just makes no sense. So anyway, this other person apparently was crying about like Legion or something. So they say, please disconnect if instead of AFK. And AFK destroys the game for other 3 survivors and the killer. Going AFK or disconnecting destroys the game anyway. Like, your entitlement is destroying everyone else's experience. And that's the thing I've been trying to get at. I'm just saying, man. It's a lot of stupidity. And then, of course, there's more replies about, like, and then this person makes a good point. They said, have you forgotten why we play games? It's not to win. It's for fun. It's not a job, it's a game. Yep, I agree. Disconnected gives you loads more stacking penalties, but that's what you deserve if you're going to be, like, trying to ruin everyone's experience. People load up the killer to play against survivor players. If they wanted to go against bots, they'd go to customs. Why would they not want to play against players to end, like what the heck? So that's already a thing. Oh, we also have somebody else here that tuned in and they said use Jill's counterforce. That's what I literally said. That's the full hex build counter, by the way, this one perk. That's what I've been saying since day one. You can literally break other totems before you break the main one, and you can build up your stack of 20%. Literally, I've done it before. You build up your stacks of 20% and then just run to, like, just get like maybe 2 or 3 done, and it gets faster each time, and it shows you the aura of the totem as well. And you can say, oh, but solo queue, but they're not on the gen. I'm like, then that's them, right? But at least you can bring one perk, just one, and you can counter his whole build. So it's on you at that point, right? It's on you, not I, not the killer, you. Number 2, they say jump scare doesn't stop you from cleansing a totem. If you're at 98% cleansing progress, your survivors will scream, but they won't let go of the totem. And number 3, they say throw the hunt is going to be nerfed soon because it was confirmed by behavior. So this person, of course, is probably a survivor main, because they say, 1, you don't want to bring a perk to counter something you don't even want to see played. You AFK and queue for the next one. Survivor queues are like 10 seconds, you don't lose anything. So that right there is the entitlement we're talking about. These brain dead bozos that like walk around and beg for these dumbass changes. This is who we're talking about. This person right here with this stupidity. So, and then like, notice how they don't like, I'm not even gonna respond. I'm like, so then why even reply? You're an idiot. These are the people we're talking about in these videos, because a lot of people are misunderstanding what I'm getting at when I'm talking about this shit. It's like, bro, these are the people I'm talking about. They don't want to engage with the conversation. They don't want to add a counter argument. They just go, not even gonna respond. I'm like, okay, bro. But it's like, are they invalid for saying, like, literally saying something that can probably be proven by testing? Like, are they, because I'm assuming they must know, right? They must know, right? Because if you didn't know that, or you did know that, you would say, oh no, that's not true. I did this X, Y, and Z. You include a clip, you include something to prove it or not. But you did not. You just say not going to respond. So you're just talking out of your ass. What do you mean? They say number 3 and Jason is still OP as F regardless. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? The person literally says, hey, look, there's a change already coming to please your baby ass, right? There's a perk that counters an entire build with one perk slot. They also have a scenario that can be proven in a custom match. You can literally get 2 people. You bring a totem build for the test in the custom. Teleport near that thing and see what happens. That can be proven. Them crying about how Jason's OP for some reason doesn't change anything or add anything to the argument. But that's what they do. And over here, they say, yup, that's Survivor Playbook. They cry and whine until the killer becomes crap. Crossu, Chucky, Knight. It's true. It's true. All these kinds of survivors are bitching and bitching and bitching. Just to bitch. Like, it's not because they care about the game. It's not because of anything. Another one. This is another good one. They said, number 1. Why? I don't like getting told. Should I start running DS? Nah, I'll keep dying and cry on Reddit about it. Bro, if you have the tools available and you refuse to use it, that's on you. And they say, what are you crying about here? And then they say, Jason's not OP, but he's not even better than Blighter Nurse. Exactly. But he got nerfed to the ground, and that was kind of a given. Bro, this is another stupid point. They go, yes, use Counterforce. Like, just spend money on a Singe, a licensed character for a perk. You think I have money? I'm like, and how long until it appears in the shrine? It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, bro. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, bro. Big dog, if you don't got $5 whole ass to pay, like, yo, if you don't got $5, how'd you get the game, bro? Like, what the fuck? How'd you pay for the game then? You have enough money to get on the game, bro. So how did you pay for the game? It's like, isn't the game like $20? Like, what the fuck? Where'd you get the game from? Hello? Yo, brother, brother, how'd you get the game? Because I'm pretty sure the game ain't free. So I'm like, well, how'd you buy it? Like, and if they say, oh, it was like, I don't know, they could say, oh, but their friend gifted it to them. Then ask your friend, hey man, can you spot me $5? Like, I want to get this perk or this character. Hey man. Or, you know what? Get some bread somehow. I mean, maybe you can ask, like, for a loan or something from one of your friends. Be like, hey, man, can I borrow, like, $5? You know? And then you'd be like... and then you wait for, like, a sale or something. Because they usually do sales in the chapters. And then you can get it for less. Like Steam got it. And then maybe they're on Epic, right? Maybe they're on Epic or... I mean, I wouldn't believe they're on console. Like, there's no way. But... even so, I'm like, come on, bro. These chapters are not like not the same prices as the game itself. It's weird. It's very strange. It's like if you don't got that, then you don't need to be playing this game. You got bigger issues. I agree with that. Like you must have a little bit too much free time if you're sitting on your ass, being able to like cry about it in a Reddit post instead of trying to figure out how am I getting these $5, like, because that's kind of crazy. Like, bro. Yo, this is kind of insane, bro. But that's the thing. That is the thing. That's the thing. A lot of people just cry and cry and cry. You know what I mean? And then once you, like, I'm not really gonna try to read through all of these because I'm just kind of skimming and seeing if there's anything else that would be, like, worth talking about. Like, this person says that the same type of survivors that behavior listen to, by the way, for balancing the game. It will definitely help your team. Giving up and going AFK, making your team suffer. I don't care what's going on in the match. I'll never have any respect for survivors. Screw over the team by throwing a temper tantrum like a child and ruining the match for everyone. I agree. I've spoken about this before. It's wildly selfish to try to hinder everyone's experience when playing the game because you're mad. Oh, I'm gonna cry about Jason. Like, for fucking what, bro? Like, I think people need to grasp the idea that they don't like the goddamn game. They don't like the game. At the end of the day, they just have to accept that they do not like the game. They just don't. Because every single thing about the game they don't like. They don't like this killer. They don't like this perk. They don't like having to bring this. They don't like that to bring that. They don't like the map. They don't like the lighting. They don't like the freaking palette spawn. They don't like the freaking skin. They don't like this. They don't like that. And it's like, you just, at the end of the day, you just don't like the game, bro. You just don't like the game. Like, and what's wrong with that? right? What's wrong with that? Why is it an issue that you can't accept that you don't like the game? Don't play it. I've been telling people for constantly, stop playing this game. Stop playing this game. Right? Because you guys have seen me even on streams. I don't even play the game. Because what is the point? Right? What is the point of me as a killer player playing this game? I'm not having fun with it. I don't enjoy I don't enjoy the people that I am facing. I don't enjoy the people that play the game. I don't like, necessarily, I don't like having to play the game and the amount of bobo that you have to deal with as a killer player. Like, at the end of the day, I got tired of playing it. I was like, this isn't fun anymore. Right? So what did I do? I said, you know what? I'm not going to play. Right? Better for your mental health, better for your physical health, right? Because you're not getting stressed out, getting high cortisol, right? Which already has a whole bunch of different effects to your health, right? Why are we wasting away our money, time, energy, our happiness on a slop game that doesn't care? Like, the devs don't care about your experience. If you're an experienced survivor player that enjoys the challenge, you don't matter. If you are an experienced killer player that plays this game, you don't matter. If you're a killer player who's just starting out, you don't matter. The only ones that are really that important are going to be the hyper casual survivor players that only show up for 2v8s, lights out, chaos shuffle, whatever. And the ones that do consistently play are the ones that are bitching and complaining like this, and then they end up losing constantly. This issue is bigger than just Jason. It's bigger than any killer that we can cover, but this will be added to the playlist where we talk about however everybody's complaining. There's always gonna, yeah, that's the funny part. We're probably gonna be able to amass a series where we cover every single killer and everyone complaining about them. I think we have to do it. I already have the playlist. I'll link it at the end of this one so that you can check out the other ones, because we like every time we cover it, we'll have it in there. And we can probably have every killer have at least one video about them and how they're bitching about them. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think, of course, in the comment section. Consider checking out the main channel where I have a video up already where it has to do with Spider-Man Miles Morales, the game. I have more videos coming soon, of course. And also check out the Rivals channel, because I've been trying to like put up content on there as well. Just at least give it a sub so that, we can slowly build up the content and all that kind of stuff. But appreciate you guys. Consider joining the Patreon, subbing on Twitch, or even becoming a member on this channel if you want to support me directly, and check out some exclusive content. And yeah, appreciate you guys. All right, we're gonna shout out all the members. So shout out Patreon Crow Vader. So we have Evil Blade 17, Lord Whip with an F there, and then 6540. We have Razmakai, Cozy with Brando, Cap Courteous as well. We got Kargan Falcon, Dole Whip, Noxus, Zero Mocker, Christian, and Crow Vader. Appreciate you guys, man. And if you want your name read off at the end of every video, of course, consider becoming a member on this channel. It could be the badge or I'm a member now tier. Either one works. And you get exclusive perks and content. So check it out, man. Appreciate you guys, man. It means a lot. We'll see you guys in the next one, man.